made a profit of 50 million, but the capital invested is 1 billion. How much is that? That's 0.5%, 25%, which is not that. But if you did a profit of 50 million and the capital you invested is 100 million, that's 50%. This is the wonder why when you want to go into a trading business, the first thing you ask when you want to buy shares, what is their ROI? Is that not the first question you want to ask? So when you are reporting as an accountant, you should be able to do so in such a way that anybody who looks at that account, they'll be able to understand it. Because you are expressing it and you are doing comparisons. You benchmark one period with the other. You benchmark one ratio with the other. So like telling a story, you should create an aha experience for whoever you are reporting these reports to. So what are the other types of ratios that we can have? For instance, another value reporting can analyzing and interpreting a report can give for an entrepreneur is the number of days that you expend to your customers for sales, credit sales. Make sure that if you have to extend that all, make sure that it's within reasonable period. And also ensure if you're lucky enough to be able to get vendors who you are transacting business with and be able to extend credit to you, try and ensure that the credit they extend to you, the credit base that they extend to you is far higher than the credit base that they extend to your customers. By such, you are managing your cash flow. Sometimes you don't have the vision. Because when your monies are tied out there and there's no money to trade with, you run out of cash. And then you need to find that there's no business, there's no money. But it's because you're not properly managing your cash flow. Also, going back to benchmarking, it helps if you can get a projection or a budget of all the transactions. Let's go to an end now. Some people will probably, by now, they're doing a projection of 2020 financials, both for income, both for other expenses. It's not as important. But the issue is that it has to be reasonable. The projection has to be reasonable. You can't just, I'm sorry to say this, maybe it's the roadside organizer now. It's very optimistic. Okay, 2023, I'm going to do 20 million. It's not possible. They have to ensure that there's no other organizer around me. And they have to make sure that all the tasks, every day, they are functional. How can you ensure that? No. So, what we're trying to say is that make sure that whatever your projections are, make sure that they are reasonable to that extent. And then when you have these projections, as each month goes by, you compare your actuals with your projection. And then when there's any variance, you can analyze this variance. That's very to the success of any business. When there's no analysis of variance, you can just everything is okay. Then what's the essence of doing business? How do you check the health of the business? How do you check how well the business is doing? If there's nothing you're comparing with. So you can use projections to do comparison, and then you can now analyze the variances that you observe by reason of this by these comparisons. Where I want last. My core responsibility as a client financial management specialist was before any project, always do a complete projection. That's the work breakdown structure. Where all the resources, because it was purely intellectual or proprietary, we were just saying what is the way, which was essential. So the responsibility of the SEs then was to provide the list of the resources and then because our projection was almost perfect. And we worked within that projection. And it helped. The projection was very, very, almost perfect. At the same time, we didn't wait until the end of the project. So we started deciding whether it was going to be a quantitative project or not. And we are always checking at every point in time. We are benchmarking, we are doing various analysis. So that also explains in order to ensure that we end up, all the projects end up profitable. In most cases, yes, we try as much as we can, but in some cases, we may not work as we have planned. But if we do our homework properly and diligently and sure, in 100% of the cases, maybe we get 90% accurately. So going back to the types of businesses that we offer, I mentioned about the service that is being rendered. The way we report that is slightly different from the way we report the product and the service business, as well as slightly different from the way we report the trading business. But at the end of the day, we need to ensure the basic things are that make sure that you do your recording, you do your reporting, you do your analyzing, you understand, sit with your accountant. After you have given you this figure, make sure you engage your accountant, let them explain the reasons for this ROI. This figure, this analysis, I don't understand. They will explain to you. So that's why some of the times you just get a report, you find it under the table after 3 months. What's it doing there? And remember, they were in Accenture. They will do work for big organizations, corporate organizations. After 1 year, the work they do maybe for 100 million, sometimes in dollars. The year after, somebody gets stable. It doesn't make sense to them because they don't understand, not because they don't analyze it, but they don't just understand it. So there's need for a synergy for the accountants to explain, and also for the service, for the entrepreneur to try and understand how well the business is doing. So I think I have tried to summarize so much. So but I have some core values that goes with any profession, irrespective of whether you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor. And I would like to set an example. Just last week, in the church, the service unit AWO, we wanted to make a video so about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So we did we arranged the uniform because the table took all the measurements. And we defaulted twice. I got the uniform from the bench we needed to use it. Of course, a lot of people made noise, they were shouting, they were angry. And what I expected of him was to just apologize. Let's say he was shouting. And I thought, this man has made a big mistake. You see, in the service meeting of maybe 50 people, that houses the church of maybe congregation of maybe 500. If you have done it right, even if you are delayed, if you have done it right, and maybe probably apologized, what would have gone wrong? That this man has done a good job. We would have extended to the 500. The 500 will extend to maybe another 500 outside. That's how a lot of people miss out. Because a lot of the time, service-based businesses is based on referral. There's no amount of digital marketing that you do. When it comes to service, it's by a referral. And we have discovered that people have to call their friends and say, okay, I know this person, refer, and all of that. But if you default by way of your manner, you are losing business and you are losing out. I'll leave you with these core values. One of which is integrity, mean what you say, and do what you mean. Accuracy, which is our own core value. Responsibility, take responsibility, even if you are wrong. If it means you have to pay for it, do it. Take responsibility. Instead of them suing you, sue yourself. Pay the price, and you should have empathy. On the final note, I'd like to end with this quote that for every entrepreneur, especially in Nigeria today, tough times don't last. But tough people do. But let me add, tough times do last. But tough people last longer. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like I believe so much that we learned so much because I saw that so many of us were writing and looking up, hoping that she would pour more and more and more, but because of time. And from all that she has said, I know as founders, as one of these founders, I'm a one-of-the founder, I have my business in shape. So I believe that we have questions at the gathering. I know that we have questions around this. So if you have any questions, can you please simplify? Question you want to ask about accounting, question about bookkeeping for your organization. Okay. Is there any question? Just one question. Okay, Sam. Can you do your question?
Thank you very much, ma'am. So my question is basically what if about going to present to the business idea of funding, and there's a question like what's the funding requirements? What is more insights there?
So the checklist for the funding requirement. Maybe on your state documentation, you need to provide your tax errors, you need to provide your audited accounts, and for how many years you need to support the program. Most importantly, financial, there has to be a trend. Past record of all your financial reports for audited accounts.
Second one, financial projections stands up. It's not an existing business. And I have opportunity to approach, so why not if you really want to get what people buy from now, how do you go about it?
Yeah, we have industries, businesses that are already in existence. So we can actually, if we're able to get access to their reports, financial reports, we can use that as a guide to provide a projection for what we will take to do.
Thank you so much.
So my question is around businesses that in existence and you bring it to young. So I think I haven't done many times before later. So I think
When did this happen?
3 years ago. 3 years ago. So the issue is, I mean, the first year is always back and forth. The second year, COVID happened. Like this year, we really picked
So
up.
what you're saying is that you have not found
I said I am fine.
the FIRs.
Just to be sure that people at the back can hear the question. So it's asking that he has never filed his tax return and they've been in operation for about 3 years. So it's asking what's the way forward, because in order to raise money or to do right by your business, your books have to be correct.
So the books have to be correct. You also have to do the right thing by first of all registering your company with the FIRs. So this 6 months is
Let me register.
no, no, it's different. Automatically, they have your number with the FRS, but it doesn't mean that you have been actually registered.
Even when you meet
back form, a team letter, a team form. You have to fill all of that. Support it with all your CSC documents. And then when you're going back, you go with your hard copy for citing. And then afterward, they will give you another letter confirming from the FRS letterhead that this is the team number that you are doing. That is when you have been actually registered with the FRS. And then afterward, you need to be filing VAT every month. Failure of which there's a penalty of 50,000 every month. And because it's on tax numbers now, there's no begging. It is there. So I had to say it, but I don't know how you can unwind that. You cannot run it. Please, go and do it. I think the moratorium they gave was about 18 months after registration. There was that, it's not 2 years. After the 18 months, once you go to file, they start to charge you. Both for VAT and for day filing. Day filing penalty is about maybe close to 100,000 naira a month. What do we not file?
Who's not filing?
What other taxpayers do is they just scrap that name and start to finish. I'm not advising you to do that, just so that so you need to get it right from the onset. It's very important. It's very important. And it's on tax format. It's not like you can backdate that. You're going to be when they use stamp. You now beg them, please come and backdate this stamp.
For the sake of those who may not know what tax format is, because I know that we have budding entrepreneurs also in the room, is an electronic system where that's keeps the record of your tax, your file, everything that you have to do with FIRS is on that platform. So it's not even about there's somebody who has a face. That's what we're trying to say. It's faceless. It's not that, please can you skip this part for me? Can you skip that part for me? So you have to do it. I think this is very destructive for anybody who starts now to start counting. To start counting your days. Okay, so mind that if you incorporate in November, you want to start counting when you're 18 months.
It doesn't affect business needs.
So that it doesn't affect because
Does that affect business needs?
Yeah, advices and limited liability. The difference between the LLC and the enterprise is that because of the VAT is a common thing, but for business needs, you don't have to file annual returns. As in your annual
The business thing now, this thing that
it affects both LLCs and businesses. You must file with the FIRS. But at the end of the year, you're not mandated to file your tax returns, your annual
revenue.
Yes, you're not mandated. But for monthly VAT, whether you are filing, whether you're making a profit or not, file nil. If you're not making any VAT, there's no payments to make. File nil, otherwise you'll be penalized.
And if you don't electronically,
Yes,
everything is now
everything is electronic.
So you don't go anywhere, it's just filing.
Just keep the filing in the comfort of your house.
and this brings me to a question that I think may go towards our second speaker that we will do. So back to the question was asked to actually help us resolve the challenge. She said that the one alternative is to forget that particular it's an alternative, right? But I want to ask, and I think it will become a legal question. I want to ask, so if I have a brand, let's use it as an example. Alright, and let's assume that whatever we did it properly and then we want to start, and it's not becoming a very difficult issue. Can we incorporate another name while still retaining the brand name in there? Can we then transfer, whatever work, whatever project experience into this new brand new business and claim the experience and claim? I'm helping you.
Why you can do that? You can do it for 9 years, but you cannot behave there anymore. If there is debt,
It's there.
Let's get this one.
So,
Our corporate name is doing vision, but the brand name is doing C. So if I'm to scrap it, I'll probably say doing lights, for instance, and then use it as a parent company for this same doing soon.
That's why I said this would be a legal question.
Because I know somebody that did something similar. I think she had issue with tax and all that. So for example, maybe it's 8thGear. She now had 8thGear something. She understand, and maybe then she wasn't married. So now, so she changed her name. The name so that somebody is trying to copy the other name, but for who knows that didn't know, it's the same person.
Let's revert the question.
And then I think I would propose that maybe after, because there has to be a way forward for him. Because a lot of us fall into that category. We've never done that. And we have business. So we need a way, and we don't have 100,000 to pay back. So you have to show us the way.
Show us the way.
So maybe after this conversation, we'll do that. Let's celebrate.
So that it won't slip our mind, we can send our question. So after our speaker, we'll talk for the legal aspect. So we will not have to channel our questions right here and directly. So we'll be having one of our sponsors for this event. Will be coming up here to talk to us about what they do and like to us. But before they come up, I'd like to mention to us that can you take pictures, post on your Instagram, and to tag us, use the hashtag 8thGear, gear up, and 8thGear. The hashtag will be on the screen. Just post. There's a gift for whosoever has the highest likes, highest shares, and the likes. So do that. So can we have speaker while you're free? Okay, why do we wait? We're giving a slip of paper when we came in. We have our teams. Some of our teammates, before some of us came in, they've solved part of the review, and some of them have solved the entire review. But we're left with the questions. So some in between, conversations, we can probably look at our questions and brainstorm on them. So can we welcome everyone around us, especially entrepreneurs and co-founders like ourselves. Our services are majorly in 3 areas. We deal with relationships. We are very relationships in terms of family life and marriages, traumatic experiences, and mental health stress. And we also create awareness about what exactly mental health issues are. Like, if you sorry about that. What is mental health? Mental health, most of us do not even know what exactly is mental health. What would we say is a stable person? And so, we might have been. Sorry. First time.
So what do you want us to do? How can you help?
How we can help entrepreneurs. And daily we face a daily challenge which brings about stress. And so we at Mind we serve as the connecting node. We tend to connect entrepreneurs, founders with counselors and therapists that can help you in managing your stress and also in the aspect of emotional management and also in areas to improve communication skills between our employers, between our investors also. Because if you're able to communicate effectively to an investor and put a price and give them a proper bargain, they will be able to they will be willing to invest in your businesses. And so we serve as a connecting, we connect entrepreneurs, founders with counselors and therapists that help to manage their day-to-day stress. Being an entrepreneur in Nigeria especially, not even thinking of Africa, the stress is enormous. You can remember what the first said about us. How someone came up and said, for the past 3 years we're running businesses. And you can imagine the answer that was given as well. Because I was even talking to a colleague of mine, I was like, it's not better not to pay tax. Because now that we have heard that we have to pay tax, now we are doing that now. They are going to collect a huge amount of money from us. So we're like, it's not better to just run our business without the interference of CAC and government opportunities. So management of stress, emotional management is very important.
So how can we find you?
Okay. You can find us on our social media platform, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We actually have a program right now. For you to get this package, you just need to go to our social media handle, which is Mind of Faith, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Take a selfie of yourself, post it, and tag #Mind of Faith, #Mind of Faith community. We'll communicate. So if you have questions, she's around, and some of your team, the team is around, so you can always communicate with them, get better information from them, and they will be, giving out 2 free sessions with professional counselors, with some individuals that from founders here today. So let's be on the watch out for who and who will be getting to this free session from one of your sessions. So next, we'll be having our next speaker. Our next speaker is Mr. Omoruyi of Edoigiawerie.
You have murdered me.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I try not to murder people. I ask, but I'm a fast learner. I'm sure after when you will correct me and I'll pick up that. I'll do that. So, Mr. Omoruyi Edoigiawerie, also known as Law, is a legal practitioner and a Rotary Pump with over a decade of experience in corporate and commercial legal practice. He's the founder of Edoigiawerie and Company LP, a full-service law firm with a strong support base for startup companies and entrepreneurs. Omoruyi, an alumna of the University of Lagos, is also a Harvard University certified leadership expert. He holds a specialization certificate in legal entrepreneurship from the University of Maryland, USA, and a certificate in principle and persuasive negotiation from the Yale University of Management. He's a member of the Nigeria Bar Association, American Bar Association, and is also an NUCTAD MPTech trained entrepreneur and member of the Foundation Mentors Group. He's a member of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrarians and a member of Mentoring Committee of Nigeria Bar Association. He served as a member and an ecosystem advisor and a Nigerian Startup Act. He served as a member and ecosystem advisor at the Nigerian Startup Act. A provided writer, Omoruyi is the author of the best-selling masterpiece of entrepreneurs, The Business of Running Your Business, a practical guide to building a successful business. The book is a product of his in-depth experience in corporate and commercial legal practice, statutory compliance matter, and entrepreneurship development. He is also recognized as one of the leading entrepreneurs and startup lawyers in Nigeria. And so far, he has helped establish over 1,000 startups that remain gainful in business and still rely on him for expert support. Omoruyi regularly contributes to nation building and through regular speaking engagement across countries on contemporary issues that relate to nation building and civic responsibility. Make welcome.
Thank you for being there. I like to work for your session. I don't teach, I gist. So we're going to gist. And we're going to discuss. But before we get to why I'm here and what I want to talk about, I'd like to just add a few things to what Mr. ADENIJI said during our session, especially between business things and interactive communities. So, why do you register your business? What's the motivation for business registration? Why do you go to the CAC? Can someone tell me? It's good to see you guys. It's good to see everyone. Sorry, mind my manners. I bring you greetings from Edoigiawerie and Company, and a member of my team at ADENIJI. This is our natural habitat. We enjoy being around startups, entrepreneurs, people who have innovative ideas. I'm really very excited to have very common experience. I know sometimes when you say to people you're a lawyer, you say, I'm not really tired. So, what's the motivation for starting a business? Can someone tell me? You know that we go registry, yes. Going to the CAC. I like honesty. Yeah. Who else has an idea? Separate and legal entity from owner of business. Okay.
I have much to say, but you will also be able to get your team and also, like, those who said, so the company operates on its own. When there's any legal, you can, everybody can be on its own.
Okay, how many, what's your name?
Man.
Mano. What's your name? And how many of you are going with Titilayo's answer? How many of you are going with ADENIJI's and Emmanuel's view? Okay. How many of you have a business name? Not limited like from business name. If your reason was because of his ADENIJI's view, you have failed. Because business names don't give you legal personality.
Yeah.
They only give you one thing, priority of use of name. You cannot sue and be sued. You cannot enter valid contracts. You cannot enter legal relationship with a business name. And you cannot buy land, real estate. You cannot do anything. So I see some people, real estate moguls, because that's what everybody's doing now. You go to AIWO and then all those places that are close to the people forest. Clear the forest and start calling themselves real estate gurus. And then with business names. So I need you to have that at the back of your mind. Is it bad? No, it's not. Like I said, gives you an official bank account, the priority of use of name. But if you want to go into serious business, emphasis on the word serious, you've got to look at incorporation. That's why it is called registration. And limited liability companies are called incorporated entities. So when you talk of limited liability companies, you talk about incorporation. When you talk about business, you talk about registration. Get this now. But let me know but that's not my place. I'm here to talk to you about starting up, the Nigerian Startup Act, and what I think you guys should know. How many of you have heard about the Startup Act? How many of you have not heard about the Startup Act? You've not heard about the Startup Act, you heard it for the first time from me. Raise your hand. So he didn't even see the flyer, that's what he's telling us. Anyway, so we're all entrepreneurs, right? And how many of us are running a startup or intend to run a startup? Don't be shy. How many of us want $1 million? Yeah. Even for entrepreneurs or startups, right? So you just run your thing, and if you blow, you blow. If you don't blow, on to the next thing until you blow. Because you try, right? So that has been the trajectory. But then, do you know what the new oil is? Data. Who are the miners of the new oil? Startups, entrepreneurs, the tech ecosystem, right? Because oil is going to dry up very soon. Or something that will not dry up are numbers. Do you know we've been 230 million population? 230 million people are consuming, creating data. That is billions of dollars revenue. So even if oil dries up, you will always have human beings who create innovative solutions to life. Because as long as we are living, we are going to need stuff. We are going to need to be in existence. So you have this crop of innovative products, innovative entrepreneurs providing so much value without getting some measure of support from the state. You've heard about Remita, right? Single payment accounts. You've heard about Paystack, Flutterwave. These were startups. And I think even Flutterwave is still within the startup timeline, right? Startups, but startups that provided revolutionized products. All of us ride an Uber. Uber was a startup at the time. And it started with someone identifying a problem, finding a solution, and making profit. And that's what entrepreneurship is all about. You identify a problem, you provide a solution, and you make profit. Entrepreneurship is not a non-governmental organization. You've got to make profit, right? But the initial years are difficult. And that is why you need an enabling law that will help give you some semblance of support. So I've said this to just give you a preview to why we have the Nigeria Startup Act. The Nigeria Startup Act, if you watch the teaser, is a law made for you by you. So what happened? Ecosystem partners came together to say, look, we need some level of support from the states. We need some level of guidance, and we need some level of enablement. And government said, okay, what do you need? Let's come together, let's make a law that will now enable you. So the Startup Act is not a regulation. In the strict sense of the word, it's only a law to the extent that it's to your benefit. The Startup Act is a supporting document that supports you so far as you meet the criteria. So what is a startup? That's the starting point of this conversation. What is a startup? Does anybody know what a startup means? Just tell me, listen. Rule number one, if you are going to be in the entrepreneurial ecosystem and you're going to run a startup and you're going to be an entrepreneur, there is never a wrong answer. Number one rule. Never. So anything you say is not wrong. It depends on what you say. Even if you think it's not right, you see, the truth is, did you ever imagine 20 years ago that you could sit in one place and make telephone calls to people all over the world without really paying a dime? There were times when people used to queue up at night booths for hours to make calls. And in 1 minute, and once your time, it will just stop. So you see that when you get to like maybe 40-something seconds, you start rushing. Okay, have you seen the money? Because once it's 1 minute, bam, then you have to either pay again or you go and start all over again. That was our reality. And we were cool with it. Those who could afford had phones in their homes. And even that, we had issues. So, did you ever imagine that you have handsets when telephone lines were like NEPA cables? Some of you are too young, you probably didn't see those things. Telephone lines were like NEPA cables. Right? But someone thought about an innovative solution and brought about it. But that's even old school. Prior to 2020, how many of you imagined that you could have meetings from your bedroom? See the other person, the person sees you guys discuss, agree, write your meetings and everything. Prior to COVID. But guess what? Zoom has always been there. Teleconferencing, but it has always been looked at as an elitist thing, what's rich of companies that have high turnover. You know, the oil companies and all that. MTN had a solid teleconferencing package. But today, on the comfort of your handheld devices, in fact, some of us are getting fatigued because in a day, because now it's virtual, in a day you can go into like 15 meetings. It's Zoom, it's virtual now. So No privacy anymore. Because before, when you are invited to an event, you think of the venue and all that logistics, and you decline on yourself. But that tells you the level of innovation and how no answer is wrong. Because at the time these startups started this thing, they looked insane, they looked stupid. They were deemed unnecessary. So I go back to the issue. What is a startup? Someone should tell me, no, we don't proceed. And I have a meeting, so I just look at and go, and I'm telling you. First tell me, what do you think a startup is? Tell me. I've been looking at me intently, and I know you've thought about it, okay, let me not say anything. Tell me, what do you think a startup is? When they say startups, what does that mean?
The word startup is a business. Startup is so not big scale, so unique problems, close to.
Okay. Yeah.
Startup actually represent a stage at which a business does launch business startup for the get growth and other things.
Cool. Any other idea? Put you.
Like, as long as it's idea stage, and it's not used into trying to scale up.
You know why I'm saying no to you? Not that you are wrong. You are going to
Hey.
now people like me, they make them increase marketing scheme. You don't give me straight like just a startup is a company that does starting. Let me tell you one thing that helped me throughout my days in school until today, even in postgraduate exams, certifications, it helps you. Always give literal interpretation to things.
Yes.
Literal. Starts up. The only new thing that I'm going to be telling you about that definition is that the agreeable definition of startup includes businesses starting up that are leveraging on technology and providing innovative, growth-based services. Yes. But even beyond the startup, even outside the startup. So when you say you are a startup, your business has to be leveraging on technology. It has to be a technology-driven business. Startups largely refer to tech-driven businesses. But in different forums, I have argued to say, look, there's no business today that's not leveraging on technology.
Sure.
There's a woman in my estate has WhatsApp. The day she fries nice akara, she will post it on her WhatsApp. That's technology, and depending on technology, you are disseminating. The tomato seller, the day she buys baskets of tomato, people now order things, the most mundane things, online. So, we say people from the part of this country we refer to them as the particular word, and they are used to selling, suya, right? And then you think, today, people order suya from these same people, leveraging on technology. I was shocked. I went to buy suya, and what happened? They were doing video call. That's technology, and it's providing service. So government is going to be giving seed for 90G. The difference is that previously what you had were executive orders, or the governor likes this, or the president provides something, another government that you're going to be one of the first set of people to harvest the benefits of the Startup Act, right? And there's also going to be a credit guarantee scheme. So government may not give you money. You may have investors who want to give you money, but they need a guarantee.
You want to read money.
What's your name? You like go wrong. What's your name? Chris. You don't see his beard. And I'm an investor. I want to give Chris money. Like this will run. I need to get someone who will hold Chris accountable. Or someone who will say, don't worry, if Chris runs, I'll give you your money back. You know, part of the reason why many startups don't get to the aspire to prosper state that she was trying to give us, is that they don't get the necessary support they need at the onset. Those basic things, you'll be shocked that a simple guarantee from your state will make someone comfortable to invest 50 million in your business that you can turn over in 2 years to be 500 million. You'll be shocked. But prior to the enactment of Startup Act, most startups have been in that stage. Like a portable, God, that's just been where they've been stuck in all this while. The credit guarantee scheme in place. All you need to do is understand your documentation and get it right. I'm going to advise you, go to the Startup Act. I'm going to share a copy of the gazetted version of that, and you should circulate it. Read it, especially section 13 that talks about label startup, right? So that you look at your business and tailor it. You meet the criteria for labeling. And so once the process starts, 8thGear, my people, shall let you, right?
Thank you.
Apply to be labeled. Meet the threshold, you get labeled. And when you get labeled, you begin to get the benefits of labeling. Let me see if there's anything. Right, so there are some tax incentives that come. One of the things that you benefit is that even as a label startup, those who are investing in you, foreign investors, will get some level of 30% rebates on taxes, just because they are investing in the label. So it makes you a beautiful brand, and it puts you in a view, right? There are also income tax. Already, you know, the Finance Act already provides some measure of tax rebates for small businesses. You're not obligated to pay tax if your turnover is less than 25 million. You pay a particular fraction between 30 million and 100 million. And then if it's above 100 million, you will pay, forget that. No, you guys pay, right? But that incentive, what the Act is going to do is to try to contextualize the benefits and bring it a bit closer home so that you really feel the impact of these benefits, right? Another thing that we're also doing as a Startup Act project is to even get all the states in Nigeria to adopt the Act, either through enacting state laws or giving executive orders. Because guess what? Startups live in the states. The Act is a federal law. But there are many benefits that you can also get in your own states. For instance, PE is a state thing, not a federal thing. Imagine if Lagos State says, for the first 3 years of inception of startup, you get a waiver from PE remittance. That's a lot of relief, right? Business premises tax, radio and whatever permits, TV license, all sorts of funny, ridiculous permits could be waived at the state level, and that's what we're doing. Kaduna State, for instance, we just had a meeting last week. We are trying to fine tune, and the Kaduna State law. Lagos State is in full swing with the Act, right? They have come up with their law. In fact, already Lagos State has an innovation and research council that funds startups. They are building their own Silicon Valley somewhere in Yaba. There's going to be, a hub, right? So once we get the states to come on board, you not just get the benefits at the federal level, you'll also feel the impact at the state level, right? And it will help you, get there. Yeah, so there's so much really that the act provides. I'm just giving you tidbits. Rest, you have to pay money, and then you get it. But here's the thing: people sometimes ask, is it just startups, legal startups that will benefit from the Startup Act? No. So the Act provides for the creation of 36 or 37 accelerator and incubator hubs in every state in Nigeria, where entrepreneurs can access digital innovative support services to scale their businesses. And you don't need to be labeled to access these products. So you're going to have a partnership also with the university, National University Commission, to train students in the university and help them understand, build, and curate innovative products and stuff. So all in all, last, if you don't want to chop breakfast,
Wants to chop.
understand these acts, latch onto it, and it's going to benefit your business. That makes sense. Yes.
Okay, so the start is very beautiful, but then a lot of entrepreneurs or founders are always scared of when you deal with business, you come up with the radar. So if you've not paid your back or you've not done the necessary paperwork you're supposed to do, it's easier for you to be flagged. So what
Why should you not pay your back?
is challenges of life? I'm not yeah, so people, somebody asks that has not paid his back. I know quite a number of founders that when it comes to tagging of our regulations, I think the stress of the work and lack of knowledge and all that ignorance distracts us. So if this startup act sounds like a very beautiful jollof rice, I mean like they put some things
She's feeling you. She's feeling you. She's feeling what you're saying. No, so let me tell you, I seem to say a lot of things, but if you listen very clearly, I feel innovative. A lot of you are indisciplined. The biggest flaw startups and entrepreneurs have is indiscipline, not discipline. In fact, here's what happens with most startups. You build an innovative product, pray for an angel investor to come and invest. They invest, start living the life. You pray for another angel investor to invest, and or you pray that you get someone who just come and buy it off until you go to the next thing. We don't build innovative, don't build sustainable. How many times can you your heart? In the last 10 years or 5 years, that high nothing existed. To shock you. Even the popular one that's also so it's definitely a key role in building a sustainable business. There's also another saying that says information is power. Oftentimes, somebody has told you it's very easy on your phone, tax program. You go, you find you don't need to go to any office anymore. The portal is going to be online, for instance. Your FIR is going to be in the portal, right? So here's what's going to happen. It's going to make it very easy for you has always known that business is not easy. FIRS gives you 6 months. CSC gives you 18 months. No obligation to do anything. Run your show, do whatever you want to do. And then after 5,000, 5,000, right? Look at an expensive. Don't do just one of the guys are do things yourself. Don't do professional things yourself. I won't be really wrong there. And as a startup, when you start watching, you lose it. And it starts from what? Getting wrong people or doing it yourself. Let me tell you, you can lose $500 million from just a comma that was missing in an agreement. Your business can fail. Just 2 words. Name, sharp. They mean 2 different things. You may not know. I know. As good as I am helping clients, because what they will do is send you reminders, prompt you, right? Please find your so you just follow it. And we are not at the end of the conversation, you download your asset, you do anything. Important that see now, they don't ask you all of now inactive. Until you pay your ordinary returns, you are going to be inactive. You know, and just much. We lead to high and you focus on other things. My team at work, they did a meme the other day with this. You know, of especially dispute resolution and funding remittances. Look at what our airlines are going through, our forex issues. Dispute resolution in other countries don't take 2 months, 3 months. Can be there. I'm going to do the law 10 years to get us. Startups, especially venture capitalists, don't have the luxury of time to put levels of volatility, legal volatility, right? So those are some of the challenges, but we're getting there. That's why I also said